It is officially time for the NFL preseason. We got the Hall of Fame game showdown slate to talk about. I cannot wait for this. Big contest as well, $50,000 to first. Welcome, guys. My name is DK. As I said, I'll be talking about the showdown slate. I'll be covering NFL preseason all month long here on my YouTube channel. And if you guys are looking for more content, you can check my Patreon link down below. I'll be posting snap counts, depth charts, doing live streams, player pool, Discord where you can ask me questions. Basically everything that you can think of, I will be offering on my Patreon. So if you guys are interested in that, you can check it out, linked down below. Had a phenomenal preseason last year. Here are my numbers on Prize Picks: 70% ROI, won $3,500 profit. And then on Draftkings, had a 118% ROI, profiting almost $4,000. So about $8,000 in profit last NFL preseason. I'm carrying over a strong last month from Summer League. Won about 5,000, just under 5,000 profit. Should have been a lot more though. I'll just say, if you know, you know. But again, guys, if you guys are looking for that more in-depth content, check it out. Link down below. Huge edge here in the preseason. And you just got to be on top of things, right? It's a lot of Twitter searching, a lot of just, looking at what the beat writers are saying. And you can definitely gain an edge on that. Also, I won the second half showdown slate last year. There is an edge in that. I'll be talking about that in the Discord as well. So, it's just great to have football back. I will just say that it is great to have football back. We got college football starting up in a couple weeks or so. So, I am very, very excited. Also, the sponsor of the video, that would be Prize Picks. They will be offering preseason props. They're not up yet. My guess is they'll probably be up Wednesday night or Thursday morning. That's also part of the package on Patreon. Do offer a Prize Picks package or a combo package. But I'll be posting props there. Like I said, had a great month NFL preseason last year on Prize Picks. If you guys are not on Prize Picks, though, again, you can use the code DKDFS for a 100% match up to $100. It'll be linked down below. Definitely take advantage of that promo if you're not on Prize Picks. Okay, so with that all out of the way, let's get in the video. I know it's been a little bit. Last video was Summer League, so I just took a little bit of a break there. That was a grind, the Summer League, and it was profitable for me, but I was working 16, 18-hour days, so needed a little bit of time off, and it's nice to be back here. I'm ready for the grind of the NFL preseason. We only got one game this week, but next week we'll be getting into normal week one of the NFL preseason. All right, so let's talk about the Hall of Fame game, just in general. It's going to be, projected to be a pretty low-scoring game, as it usually is. A lot of the times, you're looking to, defenses or kickers or quarterbacks you think are going to play a ton. Really, playing time is very, very important. If, for example, one team has 4 quarterbacks and one team has 2 quarterbacks, then obviously I'm going to lean towards the team that only has 2 quarterbacks playing. So, it's really more so you want to be focusing on guys that are going to get playing time as opposed to talent. So let's just start with the player-by-player breakdown, and we'll start it with the New York Jets. I have this filtered by position. So Jets D is going to be one of the more popular plays of the slate, as is the Browns D. They're two of the safest plays on the board. The defenses you could probably say are going to be projected for the most fantasy points in this game. Again, you're going to have a lot of third and fourth string players playing on offense. So the defenses are very safe. Both teams only have one kicker as well. So Greg Zuerlein, very safe option. Like I said, if you get like a few points, you get like 5 points from a player in this game, you're going to be pretty happy. So defense and kicker, 2 of the top plays on the slate. All right, so quarterbacks for the Jets. So for the Jets, they have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. Aaron Rodgers will not be playing in this game, so we're going to have 3 quarterbacks playing: Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, and Chris Streveler, a guy that I've played a lot in the preseason over the years. Wilson, again, price points also, I forgot to mention, there's no, everyone's the same price. So price does not matter on this slate. But Zach Wilson, I expect to probably start and get a few drives here. Not really a guy that has a ton of rushing upside. So I think he's viable, but more of a contrarian option for me. Also not as excited in Tim Boyle, just a veteran that's bounced around a lot in this league. Not really a guy that has much rushing upside either. So the first 2 quarterbacks I expect to be in the game, Wilson and Boyle, are not out of play, but not guys I'm prioritizing, more GPP pivots. The guy that I like the best and will be by far, in my opinion, the most popular, Chris Trevler. Not really the most accurate passer, but a guy that has rushing upside. A guy that can go do this, nine carries, 54 yards in the ground. Like, he's done that a ton, in these preseason games. So Trevler definitely going to be my favorite quarterback here for the Jets, but he's also going to be by far the most popular. I think Wilson will get a little bit of ownership. I don't think many people will play Boyle, but Trevler will be massive chalk. I think he's definitely the safest option. All right, so I'm going to running back for the Jets. So the Jets technically have 7 running backs on the roster. Starters, as I said, are not going to be playing in this game. So Breece Hall will not be playing. Michael Carter, I don't know how much run he'll get in this game. Him and Zonovan Knight are 2 guys that should be, the starters in this game, or the guys that get the first crack at it. But I don't expect them to play much, Carter and Zonovan Knight. So they're more contrarian plays, large tournament plays for me. The guy that probably is your safest bet is going to be Israel. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. That's also another thing with some of these rookies. I'm probably going to botch their names, but he's someone that they even said they want to get a long look at. Undrafted or rookie 5th round pick, I should say. Decent in the passing game. So of these running backs on the Jets roster, I expect him to probably get the most work. And for that reason, in my opinion, he'll probably be the most popular play of these Jets running backs. So Carter's on night fine options, but I expect Israel probably to get the most work. And then you have a few other running backs on this roster. I will mention they do have Nick Bowden listed as a fullback, so I'm not really sure how much run he'll get at the running back position. But then you have Crockett and Dye, 2 guys that I don't think will be that popular. Probably guys will be seeing more in the second half. Crockett got injured last year, ACL, but he is back on an NFL roster. And then Travis Dye as well. These 2, I think, are guys you can definitely look to. I will say, too, another edge I found in the preseason is trying to target, that running back that's going to be in at the end of the game on the team that's trailing. That's found me a lot of success, just because you would think, you'd want the running back of the team that's playing from ahead. Not really, because they're most likely just going to plow for like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You really want that running back at the end of the game and the team that's trailing, because a lot of times you get those 3rd, 4th-string quarterbacks that maybe not as accurate, that check down a little bit more. So Crockett and Dye definitely interest me because I think they'll be in at the end of the game. But Israel, I think, is definitely going to be your safest and most popular running back here for the Jets. All right, so tight ends, really not looking to many tight ends on the showdown side. I'll mention one, and that's going to be Zach Kuntz, who's expected to get a lot of opportunities. He's a pass-catching tight end, young guy. I think if I'm going to play a tight end on this slate, it would be him. But really, not going to be looking a lot here for the Jets. They have like 6 tight ends. Conklin, Uzoma, don't expect them to play much. So, yeah, if I'm going to play one, it would be Kuntz, but more of just large tournament play for sure. Okay, and looking at the Jets wide receivers, they actually have a lot of wide receivers on this team. So I think the Browns wide receivers are a little bit safer than the Jets wide receivers, but we know, again, starters not expected to play in this game. So Wilson, Lazard, don't think they'll play. They have, I don't think we'll see Corey Davis too. He's a veteran. McCole Hardman, he's going to be like wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. How much we're going to see from him, I don't know. So I don't really think I'm targeting many of these main guys. Wilson, Lazard, I don't think we'll play. I don't think we see Corey Davis either. We may or may not see Hardman. So, and I would be shocked to see Randall Cobb. There's just no reason to play the veteran Randall Cobb. So those 5, I'm kind of just Xing out, which still leaves a healthy amount of receivers here for the Jets. One guy that has been getting some praise in camp is going to be Jason Brownlee. He got a little bit banged up in practice. We'll keep an eye on that today. But he's someone that, if he is good to go, will probably be the guy that I look to first. I'm going to look to one of these Jets wide receivers. Alex Harrison is another veteran that's kind of bounced around. He'll get some action in this game. I think he's fine. And yeah, then you kind of just have some of these end of the bench guys. Nothing really standing out here with Taylor, Cap, Luther, Xavier Gibson. So these guys are all playable, but again, the Jets still have a fair amount of wide receivers on this roster. So Brownlee, probably the guy that will get the most ownership and probably your best option if he does play. But Gibson, Charles, Taylor, Cap, Luther, all fine options. Again, I don't really have any like super hot takes here. And if you guys are interested in how I'm getting a lot of this information, it's Twitter search. I'm doing a lot of things like Jets preseason or just, flat out searching a guy's name. And then you can kind of see what's going on in practice, if they're in, if they're out. So that is basically how I get all my information for the preseason is Twitter. And that's kind of what I did for Summer League as well. If you guys played Summer League DFS, I lived on Twitter 24/7. All right, let's move on to the Browns. So Browns defense, like I said, just like the Jets defense, one of the best plays in the Showdown slate. And I think Cade York is very safe as well. So both defenses, both kickers, great options. As I've mentioned, both teams only have one kicker. So let's talk about the quarterback position here for the Browns. So I'd be pretty surprised if we see the starters play much. Watson, might get a series. Josh Dobbs might get a series, but I'm expecting most of the run probably from Mond, the third string, and then DTR, a rookie quarterback from UCLA. Those guys expect to get the most run. So we'll keep an eye on this news. If we do get confirmation that the starters are going to play like a series or two, then downgrade these two quarterbacks. If we get confirmation that Watson's out and maybe Dobbs is not going to play either, then that's going to boost the appeal of guys like DTR and Mond. Both have rushing upside as well with Mond and with DTR. All four of these quarterbacks do, but again, I don't think I'll be looking to Watson unless we get like confirmation that he's for sure playing, like 2 drives or something. But mainly looking to the third and fourth string quarterbacks will be Mond and that'll be DTR. And there's been some hints too that Mond will start. If he does start, so if Kellen Mond does start, then I don't think we'll see Watson and Dobbs at all. So if that does happen, then you most likely only see 2 quarterbacks. If Dobbs starts, then you're probably only getting 3 quarterbacks. Obviously, if Watson starts, you probably see all 4. But right now, the indications are that Mond will start and then DTR probably gets the second half. And if that is the case, then I think those two are the 2 best quarterback plays on the slate, Mond and DTR. Both, I think, again, very, very safe. DTR, massive rushing upside. You saw that in college at UCLA. And Mond has some rushing upside as well. So the 2 Browns quarterbacks right now, assuming Mond starts, would be your 2 safest quarterback plays in the slate, Mond and DTR. All right, let's move on to the running back position for the Browns. So the Browns have 6 running backs on the roster. Again, Chubb, maybe a series, but I would be pretty surprised if he plays in this one. Behind him, you got Ford, Kelly, Felton, and McCrary. Ford did return to practice. He missed 1 or 2 practices, but he is back today. So the running backs expect to get most of the work in this game would be Ford, would be Kelly, and would be Hall. Felton is more of a kind of slot wide receiver. He can get carries here and there, but I think he got like only a few carries in the preseason last year. So Felton definitely a riskier option. And then McCrary is kind of just there for me. But I expect most of the running back work to be Ford, Kelly, and Hall. So those 3 I think are very, very safe options. We've seen some big games from Ford and Kelly in the preseason Browns. Hassan Hall is an undrafted free agent, so he'll probably get more of the second half, back end of the game work, that being Hassan Hall. So those would be the running backs to be looking to there for the Browns. Not much for tight ends, really to mention. Njoku, I don't think will play much. Atkins, Bryant might get a couple series. Yes, if I had to play one of these tight ends, maybe one of the back-end tight ends. But again, you don't have to play tight end the Showdown slate, so they're just large field tournament plays, really. All right, so let's talk about the Browns. Their wide receiver core a little bit more banged up than the Jets. So let's kind of go through everything, right? Starters, we're really not expecting them to play much, if at all. I'd be surprised if these guys play. So Cooper, DPJ, Elijah Moore, those guys I don't think will be playing much. Goodwin's been out. Jakeem Grant has been out. And then Darden, again, I was doing some seeing what was up with him. Still out with an injury as well. So I'd be pretty surprised if he plays. Mike Harley is in the concussion protocol. So they're actually relatively shorthanded if you look at their wide receivers. So you have Tillman, you have Bell, you have Anthony Schwartz, who is back, Woods, Baldwin, Henry, and they just signed Watkins from the USFL. So looking at these wide receivers for the Browns, I think the most popular play of the wide receivers is going to be Cedric Tillman. You'll probably hear this a lot, but he has a connection with DTR. He's a guy that I expect to get a healthy amount of work for Cedric Tillman. David Bell, rookie last year, didn't do a ton, but he's a guy that should get some opportunities here. And then more of these back-end wide receivers. I expect Anthony Schwartz to get a good amount of run. He is probably one of your safer plays. Yeah, not a ton else to mention here from these wide receivers. So wide receivers, definitely more high risk, high reward. There are certain teams in the preseason, kind of like the Rams, that just won't play anyone and really will just play like 3 or 4 wide receivers the entire game. That's really not looking like the case here for either the Jets or the Browns. Both these teams have at least 6 healthy wide receivers. But that's it for the wide receiver position. That's it for the player-by-player breakdown. Again, if I didn't really, go super in-depth in some of these wide receivers, that doesn't mean they're out of play. They're just more, large field tournament plays. So the guys that I mentioned at wide receiver will probably be the most popular. They've been getting the most hype in training camp, or they're expected to get the most run in this game. So talking through strategy, like I said, expect it to be a low-scoring game, but I've given you guys some tips, right? The back-end running back on the team that's trailing, that always is intriguing to me. That won me the second half showdown slate last year, just because, again, those dump-offs. You want to target, guys that are, on teams that are more short-handed at the position. So, for example, again, the Browns looking like they're going to play 2 quarterbacks. If that is, in fact, the case, if that's locked in, then those 2 are your safest quarterbacks on the slate. Also, quarterbacks want to look into the guys that have more rushing upside just because they provide that floor in limited playing time. And then with, skill position, with like wide receiver and running back, again, you want to target teams a bit more short-handed, or rookies, younger guys are expected to get a little more run in the game. The safest plays definitely in the showdown are going to be the defenses, the kickers, and the quarterbacks. And then I would say the running backs, next safest after that. And then wide receivers and tight ends, definitely the riskiest plays. But the wide receivers, probably the highest ceiling on the slate. It's just kind of hard when you have teams that have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide receivers. Try to pick one that's going to catch a touchdown, right? It's a little bit more, again, large field tournament type stuff. So I think that's all I wanted to mention for the Hall of Fame game. Again, guys, if you're looking for, snap counts and player pool and live stream, Discord access, and all that stuff included in Patreon, link down below. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me in the comment section or on Twitter. But that'll do it for the video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. As I said, I'm super, super excited for NFL preseason, and I'm excited for this game as well. So good luck, guys, and we'll see you all in the next video.